Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at the recent dip back down to below the 20-day moving average in the short term. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So, if you're curious, if you've been following along, we've said before that if Bitcoin bounces, we'll get a nice altcoin move, okay? And during this time, we've had a little bit of a bounce, and we've seen some altcoins move. One of our favorite altcoins we talk about on this channel, which is Cardano, ADA, is actually holding up relatively well. It's still up on the day, I believe, by about 10% or so. So you see how there are some coins really wanting to break out, but they're constantly being held back by an ever volatile Bitcoin trying to hold the 20-day SMA. And this is what we were looking at yesterday as well. Now you have to remember that the 20-day SMA is a moving target. A few days ago, it was in the 47,000 area. It was like 47.8. Now the 20-day SMA is at 48.9. So in fact, right now we're about $500 below the 20-day SMA. Now, if you're curious, if you prefer the 21-day EMA, which we also use from time to time, that's at $48,000. So right now we are right in between the 20-day SMA and the 21-day EMA. So right here, we're right in between them. The same thing stands. Okay, the same thing stands. If we bounce into nice moves by altcoins. You can see that ADA really wants to break out, and I think the main thing holding it back is Bitcoin. Continued fear that it's about to plummet to, say, the 50-day moving average or something, which again, by the way, the 50-day moving average, which is where we held support last time, is currently at around 40.8K. Once we have the close today, it actually would probably correspond closer, or maybe 40.9 or actually $41,000. So it is moving up. And if we were to drop, maybe by the time we drop, we actually hit it when it comes up to 42K or something, if we end up dropping all the way down. So I would say, in these scenarios, if you're worried, then I feel like to some degree you're doing something wrong, right? You cannot be too overly concerned about short-term moves in the market. You need to have your risk in a spot where you could handle moves to the downside. And if it does dip, then that actually represents an opportunity, not something that you necessarily need to be fearful about. This is the whole idea of why we talk about moving into the market at various phases of the cycle, and then maybe taking profits at other phases of the cycle. We'll keep an eye on things. Right now, Bitcoin is still holding up relatively well, considering it's actually still at 48.2. We'll see what happens. If we break below, you definitely need to cancel those Forbes interviews, and we'll kick the can down the road in terms of watching altcoins rally in that environment. Doesn't mean they can't rally in a few weeks, but if Bitcoin's dropping, it's essentially going to just temporarily put the entire market on hold until there's a little bit more clarity in the short-term price implications of Bitcoin. So hopefully this has been useful. We will see if we hold these levels, or if we drop down to, say, the next obvious level. And if we do, then we'll try to hold the line there. If not, then we'll of course look to lower targets. The main one, I would say, as always, for the bull market is in fact our bull market support band, which again ranges from, it's the 20-week SMA up to the 21-week EMA. Currently, it ranges from around 28,000 up to 31,000. So we're still relatively far away from that. If we go back there, it's not necessarily the end of the bull market. It just means we want to hold the line. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Remember, we have the premium sale in the description below. Check that out. Subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.